This is a guide on the Pipa knot pillow. I'm going to first start off by making this tube yarn easier to work with. So you'll see that I have it curved. I'm going to be bunching it together so that it'll be easy to use as I continue working with it. You'll find that when working with jumbo tube yarns, it's really difficult to manage if you let it all be bunched up in the beginning. So I find having just that extra step of making sure that you bunch up everything so it comes out smoothly is really, really useful. So after everything is bunched together, you can start by forming an underhand knot where the working end is under the main part of the rest of the tube yarn. And so you'll just put that on a flat surface, and the amount you want to put out is about 2/3 of the total length that you want your Pipa knot pillow to be. So for this one, I'm using the 5 cm diameter. It's going to be about 10 inches, 10 to 12 inches. And so you're going to take that bottom end and now you're going to wrap on top of it and just to make a nice round body for the bottom part of the knot. Next, you're going to be taking the rest of the tube yarn and you're going to put it under the neck on top of your Pipa knot pillow. And you'll see that up here, I have the knot and I'm working under the top part and I'm going to make the rest of the yarn go around the top so that it can start forming that bottom leaf. And just keep in mind, your goal here isn't to be precise and make it look perfect right now. You're trying to get the shape so that you can cinch it up later and make it look nice. So you don't have to worry about perfection when you're forming it right now. Next, you're going to start taking the rest of the tube yarn and you're going to fill in the shape of the bottom leaf. And so you'll see I'm going to be putting it around, making sure that it's snug. But remember, you're not going for perfection right now, you're just trying to fill in the shape. So now you're going to wrap the top part of the tube yarn around the back, but this time under that first piece that you already did, because you're creating layers in your Pipa knot pillow so that it has that feeling of being tied, and also it starts filling in the body. So after getting the tube yarn around the top, you're going to start filling in the front again. And so you just bring that over and just keep in mind, sometimes the tube yarn can get flat around this time. So you just want to make sure that it's positioned well and that you get as much fill as possible. And this will just come with experience as you work through this and try it out. So now I'm just adjusting as I go along. Remember, you're trying to get the shape, but also you're trying to get at this point as much fill as possible because it does make cinching at the end a little bit easier to manage. Now grab the bottom part and start filling in the bottom part of the Pipa knot. You're just filling in the bottom, making sure that it's a snug fit. Now you wrap the bottom part of the tube yarn around the top, and this time it's going to form the third section of the top part of your Pipa knot pillow, and you're just going to wrap it around. And so you just want to make sure that you get it snug, and it will become a little loose on the bottom parts, but don't worry about that. You'll just have some fine adjustments that you can do, and you're going to start wrapping it around and making sure that it fits well and that it can then go across again. Now you take the tube yarn and start filling in the bottom part, the large part of the Pipa knot. And then you're going to take the tube yarn and put it around the back of the top section of the Pipa knot pillow. The middle portion of the Pipa knot pillow on the bottom is ready. So you're going to take the tube yarn and you're going to thread it through that hole so that you can prepare it for the final tie off or the finish of the knot pillow. So cinch everything, make sure it's snug, make sure it looks okay. At this point, you're tightening up the extra areas so that you can now flip it, and this is where you can start getting to the last steps of the Pipa knot pillow. So here you'll see you can actually cut this part, and when you cut it, you can finish off the thread. However, I don't like to do this because I enjoy having the flexibility of creating different shapes. And so I'll typically leave all my knot pillows unfinished at the end. I won't tie it off, I won't sew it together, so I can create different shapes in the future. So what I'll do is I'll take the remaining tube yarn and put it around the outer edge of the tube yarn, not on the very end, but near the inside, and I'll thread the remaining around the inside of the area so that I can flip it. And once I flip it, I find that that bottom part has given it enough lift so that it keeps everything firm. Because the bottom part of the Pipa knot is actually kind of flimsy, and so by having that extra support, it keeps it together. You could also sew the pieces on the bottom together to give it a little bit extra support, but aesthetically, I think it looks great, and it doesn't really need that if you're just going to leave it alone. So this is the Peepaw knot pillow. I hope that you enjoyed the video, and if you did, please click like. And if you want to check out other videos and tutorials on the different shapes, please go to my channel and check out the videos, or go to my website, knotpillowball.com, for more information.